What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Will. I'm a real estate agent out here in Los Angeles, California. And on my channel, I talk about real estate, business, entrepreneurship, and I help newer agents on their journey in the real estate industry. All right, guys, so today we are going to be talking about what the best real estate brokerage is to join in 2022. Now, before I go ahead and break everything down for you guys, I just want to talk about something really fast when it comes to joining a brokerage in general. Now, nobody can really tell you guys exactly what brokerage you should be joining. I know everybody has their own opinions. I mean, for example, like I would recommend everybody to join Exp because of my own experience and the experience of a bunch of other agents. But you really need to look at joining a real estate brokerage in another way. You can't just keep surfing YouTube, looking through videos, expecting somebody to tell you one brokerage they think you should join. You're going to get a very different answer from everybody. All the Keller Williams agents are going to tell you KW. All the EXP agents are going to tell you EXP. All the REMAX agents are going to tell you REMAX. Everybody's going to tell you who they're with because obviously they're probably having a great experience with them. So instead of just going that traditional route, I'm actually just going to go ahead and write down 4 things that I think are the most important things, especially for brand new agents when it comes to joining a real estate brokerage. And when you look at these 4 things by the end of this video, I promise you're going to have a lot more clarity on what you want to do. Because like I said, if I just sit here and say to join EXP, right? I'm telling you that based off of my experience. And yes, I do have many other videos explaining the great benefits of EXP. And, I try to tell you guys what is so great about it. And I think that it is the best place to join. But I don't want to come off as biased. I don't want you guys to see, oh, he's an EXP agent, he's just going to recommend EXP to me, because that's what everybody's gonna do. So I'm actually going to break down 4 things for you guys. I'm going to pull out the Surface Pro. We're going to go over everything together, and I'm hoping by the end of the video, you will have a lot of clarity on where you want to join. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and not waste any time and go over those 4 points that I mentioned a little bit earlier. Starting off with the first one, which is going to be enthusiasm. All right, so enthusiasm is important because it really lets you have a feel at how your recruiter or team leader is. When you're interviewing with them, if they're not showing any sense of enthusiasm or passion for the company that they work at and what they do, then that's just a huge red flag to begin with, that this company just really doesn't care. And if he doesn't care about his own career or she doesn't care about her own career, they don't care about the brokerage, they sure as hell don't care about your career as well and your business and your success in the real estate industry. Now, there are 2 things that I don't want you guys confusing when it comes to the whole enthusiasm thing, right? So those 2 things are going to be passion and pushiness. Now, it could be really easy to confuse these 2 things when you're interviewing with your potential brokerage. You have to look past the sleazy salesperson and really see if they are passionate about what they do in the company that they are at. And yes, it is tough, but you are going to have to master the skill of discernment as you get into real estate, okay? This is something that's extremely important because you need to know what is beneficial for you and what isn't. And I know that I'm not saying you're going to make the right decisions every single time. You're going to go through things in your career where you're going to make the wrong choice, but it's a learning lesson at the end of the day. We all go through that. But when you're sitting here talking to your recruiter, your potential brokerage, your team leader, whoever it is, you want to really look through any BS and lies and want to see if they're just pushing you in order for you to become another statistic at their company and they just recruited someone for the day or are hitting their target goal for the month or whatever it is. You want to not confuse that and someone who's actually passionate in helping you because they care about you as an agent, as a person, and they want to see you succeed and do good in the real estate industry. So just wanted to mention that. Let's go ahead and move on to the next thing, which is going to be mentorship, right? If you've been on my channel for a while now, how much do I mention mentorship? How often do I talk about how important it is, especially in your first year in real estate? It is the most important thing. It's definitely your number one thing. So let's talk about what entails in mentorship when it comes to joining a brokerage, because it isn't just having a mentor. It isn't just having somebody you can look up to and ask all the questions and guidance. There's actually a lot more things that go into mentorship. So let me talk about some of those things. Make sure you know programs and or classes that are taking place at your brokerage. You want to know if they have any at all. Do they cost any money, right? Because some brokerages you'll join, some will cost money and others won't. So you want to make sure you know these things so that it's just not catching you by surprise. You want to know what they give to you so that you can go to these meetings and attend this stuff so that you can actually know what you're doing and not be lost, so to say. And of course, what entails in mentorship, you also need a good mentor, right? This is extremely crucial. I mean, there's no question about this. Listen, guys, I hear way too often of new agents who are coming into the business who don't want a mentor. You're not even just setting yourself up for failure. You're not gonna win. You're not going to. Get that out of your head that you can just join and think you can do whatever you want. Unless you feel like you really know the game of real estate, which I have never heard of a brand new agent who just knows everything like the back of their hand. So unless you really know everything, then okay, great. I guess just go do your thing. But for the rest of the 99% of you, please don't go into real estate thinking that you don't need a mentor. And I'm not just saying that because I want to see you succeed. I'm saying that so you don't get yourself in a lawsuit and you don't get yourself into any trouble that you did not want to get into. So a mentor is extremely important. No excuses. Grab yourself a mentor. Find out what the mentor fees are, right? Find out what you're going to have to be paying your mentor at the end of the transactions, right? Usually it's anywhere around like 15 to 25% depending on what brokerage you're with. I know here at EXP it's 20%. When I was at KW it was 25%, but me and my mentor, we had such a great relationship that we would negotiate it here and there down like 15%, 20%. So that's kind of the average fee that you have. But overall, this is what you're looking for: programs, classes, and a great mentor. That's what entails into mentorship. So let's go ahead and move on to the next point, which is going to be support. Okay. And I know that you may be thinking, well, wait a minute, isn't support a lot like mentorship, going to classes, programs and all that good stuff? So it actually isn't. There's a lot more things that go into support than you may think. So some of the things that can go into support are things like tools, right? What tools are they giving you? Are they giving you website, right? What lead generation tools are they giving you? These are great questions to know. Are they, at EXP, we get KV Core and all that good stuff. Like when you're going to any of these brokerages, what are they handing you to set you up for success? And now another thing other than tools that is also in the category of support is actually going to be company support. And no, I don't mean company support by people at the company just coming to help you with your real estate business. I mean, yes, it could be that, but what it mainly is when I'm talking about this is, okay, so for example, when I first joined EXP, I didn't know what the hell to do, where to go. I mean, the whole idea of EXP World was so different for me, and not just EXP World. I mean, even if you go and join another regular brick and mortar brokerage, and even if it's not a cloud-based brokerage, you're still not going to know how to navigate with certain things. They're going to give you a lot of tools and you're not going to know how to use them or where to go. You're going to have many questions as a real estate agent that don't really have to do with clients per se, right? You might have a question about your check. You might have any other question that you can think about that you'll run into as a real estate agent. You may have a bunch of places where you who can I go to talk to about this and things as such. You want to know who you can talk to about that stuff. You want to make sure somebody at the company is helping you to know who to talk to and know who to go to in case you have any questions in the future. You don't want to just run into something and be like, I don't know who the hell to talk to, and then all of a sudden no one at the company is helping you with any of that and you have no idea who to talk to and you're just stuck there. My whole purpose right now in writing all this stuff down is I'm trying to put you in a position where you never feel stuck and you never feel like, oh, I don't know who to go to, I don't know who to talk to. I want you to have unlimited support all the time. So make sure you know about company support and, navigation, where to go, all this good stuff, who to talk to. That's basically what I mean when it comes to company support. Let's go ahead and move on to my final point, and probably everybody's most important point, which is going to be the financial aspect of joining a brokerage, right? So what is financial? It's your splits, right? It's your monthly fees and all other fees. Any fee you can think about. You have E&O insurance, okay? You have royalty fees. These are all things that you want to know about when it comes to your fees. Now, some brokerages don't have any royalty fees within their splits, right? So your split may be just a straight up 70-30 or whatever. But you need to make sure you know all your fees. Know everything, from the monthly fees to the desk fees to the royalty fees. You want to know everything in specific. I made a mistake when I was interviewing brokerages when I was a brand new agent. I didn't really have that much help. So one of the mistakes that I made was I was too excited. I was way too excited interviewing brokerages that sometimes I would like block out stuff. Like, for example, when I was at Keller Williams and interviewing, I was so excited to join. I felt like my interviewing experience was so good that I didn't take into consideration some of the fees that they were talking about. And that point right there that I just mentioned has a lot to do with the first point I brought up, which is enthusiasm. Don't mistake passion and pushiness, because they may be giving you a great experience, touring you around the office, and everything looks so shiny and nice, everything looks great, this is where I'll be doing my work and all that stuff. You have to back up, remove all your emotions, and make sure you stay intact so that you know everything. Because they told me the fees, but I wasn't really paying attention because I was so hyped up about everything else going on. And I know that some of you may say, well, if you didn't really know their fees, but they mentioned it to you, isn't that your fault as to why you didn't like Keller Williams? Here's the problem. That is my fault that I didn't know what their fees were. But regardless of whether I knew what their fees were or not, that doesn't negate the fact that their fees still sucked. So whether I knew it or not, their fees were still terrible. So I want you to really know everything when it comes to the financial, and then from there, you'll be good. Make sure everything is crystal clear. And although I tell agents all the time that the financial aspect should come second to your mentorship and your guidance and your learning and understanding of the real estate industry, I always think that should be first. I don't think you should completely sacrifice your profitability in order to learn, especially when they're not giving you the best support in the world. Don't sacrifice all of it. And I'm not saying not to sacrifice some of it. You're obviously going to have to sacrifice some of your check in order to learn and gain understanding and get proper mentorship. But at the same time, the checks that you get are what is going to help you, first of all, survive and pay your bills. Second of all, help you with, attaining more marketing materials for social media if you want to pay for ads, or if you're cold calling, paying for those services and all that stuff. So you still need to make money so your business can keep going. So this is why you really need to discern the difference between I'm paying a correct amount of money and I'm paying way too much money. So for example, like when I was at KW, I started at like a 70-30 split, right? And after that, 70-30 was like my standard thing that we spoke about. But after all the other fees went into play, I ended up being at like 50-50. So that obviously is not good. You should not be going 50-50 with your brokerage. All right, guys. So I hope those 4 points really helped you out and gave you some clarity on really what you should be looking out for. Now, before you do anything, make sure to know what your priorities are as a real estate agent. What do you want? I mean, it's different for everybody. Newer agents, experienced agents, everybody has a different reason why they want to join a brokerage. This is why I mentioned earlier on in the video, nobody can just tell you straight up what brokerage to join, and that's that for you. It may be the best one that they're talking to you about, but you will never know unless you really know what your priorities are as a real estate agent. But those 4 points that I gave you, I feel like are the most crucial things that any agent will need moving to a a new company, especially brand new agents. I mean, those 4 points are so huge. They're just such main foundational points that you need in your brokerage. So make sure you took notes on all of that. You know, if you didn't, make sure to go rewind the video, take notes on everything so that when you go interview brokerages, you have that next to you and you know what you're really looking for, because those 4 things are what's going to get you into the best brokerage. And now another thing I want to mention, especially for all my new agents out there, don't be scared to make the wrong decision going to a new brokerage. So many of us are so scared that, like, oh, I don't know, like, what brokerage I should go to. I'm scared of starting off on the wrong foot. And of course, like, you want to start off on the right foot, but you're a brand new agent, okay? There's no harm. I mean, there's people who go to some companies for not even a month and figure out they don't like it and move on to the next one. You're not bound by any contract, okay? If you don't like it, move on to the next one and go find the one that you end up liking. It's not always the worst thing that you end up starting with a company that you just didn't like too well. I started off with Keller Williams. I didn't have the best experience with them. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I didn't have the best experience with them, but I also would have never started this YouTube channel without Keller Williams. So I guess thank you, Keller Williams, but I would have never started this channel. I mean, everything is going to work out for your own good. If I had never had a bad experience with them, I would have never had the idea of starting a YouTube channel, because when I had the bad experience with them, right after that, I was like, you know what? I want to make a YouTube channel where I can help agents, brand new agents, not go through what I just went through. I don't want anyone to have to go through that. I want everybody to have a great experience. I don't want anyone feeling lost or not knowing what to do, because that is the worst feeling to have as a new agent. So don't be scared to go somewhere, and if it ends up not working out for you, that's okay. That's fine. Go find another place. That's totally fine. Go try them all. This is a business of trial and error in everything you do, in your prospecting, in the brokerages you join, with clients. Everything is trial and error. It's all about learning. So don't be discouraged. But anyways, I will end the video there. Make sure to follow me on my social medias. My Instagram and Facebook will be down in the description box below. Make sure to subscribe to my weekly newsletter. That's also going to be down in the description box below. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure to comment on the video. Let me know what you guys thought and leave a like. All that stuff really does help support my channel. But other than that, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I will see you all on the next one.